Hello, cosmic beings. Welcome to Being Cosmick. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I am so glad that each and every one of you are here. So, my name is Devon, and I will be doing a collective message today. With that, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. This is going to be for, this is going to be for the Divine Masculine Collective. What I'm picking up is that this is a divine masculine in separation, and I just heard uh okay, I just heard that there are some of you who are asking for a reading for the divine masculine who already is in a connection and you want some clarity on that. So I will see if it comes up in this one. You should be able to tell by the title if that's the case. Um if not though, and if you are here for some reason, I will do another reading where I focus on that thread of energy. So I am picking up two threads. I don't know which one we're going to follow, maybe both, we'll see. But the dominant one that I'm picking up right now is going to be for a divine masculine who is in separation from their divine counterpart. Yep. Okay. All right. So with that, let's get into it. Also, thank you for the likes, the shares, the comments, the subscribes. That all really does help out the channel. So thank you. I don't know if I said donations. Those do help out very much as well. So thank you. Oh, there goes an alarm. Okay, sorry about that. Had to turn that alarm off. Um, which is very interesting. So most of the time when things like that happen in my readings, um, it's very symbolic or it can be confirmation. And the first card that came out is shocking. And so that really does feel, it feels like that alarm was kind of confirmation. So maybe you've just come into the awareness of a situation that is shocking for you. Um, yeah, it's very unexpected. What else? Okay, then we've got clinging. Clinging. It doesn't pick that word up on the microphone that well. So anyways, it's this holding on energy. It can also be like an obsessed kind of an energy. I'm not picking up like in a bad way, like in a toxically obsessed, but I am picking up that there might be some slight obsession type of an energy or a clinging energy that isn't in your highest good to hold on to anymore. Um and this can also be spying. So having issues today. Um so this can be maybe you are keeping tabs on your divine feminine on social media. And again, I'm not picking it up in like a toxic way. I'm just picking up that it might be coming up right now because it's more of just like this, be mindful of how much energy you are exerting, because if you turn that energy back within and focus on your own healing and things of that nature, you're going to shift into an energy where you can bring in this connection. Okay, and so for some of you, it was something like this that it was something like seeing something on this person's social media page that shocked you in some way. Maybe for some of you, this person said something or posted something or something of that nature that completely took you by surprise and is shocking you. about this person. There is also a releasing energy. So it's a letting go and a moving on type of an energy. So for some of you, what I'm picking up is you could have found out something that appears like your person, basically the person that you want to move towards. Maybe it appears like they have moved on or they're walking away. So that could be a part of this. Maybe you've had a realization that um it appears that they're moving on or something of that nature. So just having issues in this reading. Um the camera battery was low, so I had to plug it in. And with that, I heard recharge your batteries. So you could be being called to take some space and time for yourself right now and kind of recharge a little bit. And something else that kind of came through as I was plugging in the camera is that for some of you, what could be going on is there could be a situation that's going on in your life right now that is a shocking revelation. For some of you, it um it could be like somebody passing away, something of that nature. If so, my condolences. It could be something like that that is kind of shocking your life right now. And in this, there could be a part of you that is desperately wanting this connection because it provides a sense of relief and excitement. And in your world right now, it's feeling, I just heard bleak. And then there's also an abandoned energy. So what else is going on here? Okay, so the card that came out says only you, devoted and attached and crave. So I do feel like that is confirmation for what I was picking up on, that maybe part of this realization that you've had is that this person is the only one that you want, and you're not quite sure what to do with that right now. Maybe it's kind of rocking you to your core. Maybe it's something that Okay, so I feel like for some of you, this is a relationship that you put to bed a long time ago. Or maybe it just feels like it was a long time ago. Maybe a lot of life has happened in the meantime, something of that nature. Take it how it resonates. But I feel like it's one of these situations where you were in this relationship, whatever happened, happened, and then life happened in the meantime, and you're coming to this realization. I feel like maybe you were hit with this realization that this person is the one that you want to be with, and it's rocking you to your core right now. Mhm. Okay. So, okay, so for some of you, so the card curse came out. And what I'm picking up is that for some of you, maybe you have this, it's kind of this energy of like, I'm cursed in love or I'm cursed in relationships. I'm not picking up like an actual curse, so to speak. It's more of the energy of feeling like you're cursed in some way. And part of this can also have to do with negative thought patterns. And so just be mindful of that as well. But clarity is coming. And I feel like there's a level of clarity that has already happened for you, and that's causing a lot of realizations. And I do feel like there's a heart opening going on right now, within you. Maybe part of this is realizing this person's intentions. Maybe you didn't really see this person clearly, and now you're seeing the situation clearly, and it's like, oh shit, like that person really really did want the best for me. That person really was in this relationship. That person really did have feelings for me. That person really did love me. And so that could be what's going on now as well. And there is, yeah, there is definitely a longing energy with this connection. There's definitely a longing and a wanting to be with this person, and connect with this person. Okay, then we've got one day. And so when this card comes up, it reminds me of that energy of like right person, wrong time. So that could definitely be a factor here. And then we've got chasing. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So I feel like, okay, this is interesting. I feel like you are being called to step more into, I don't really want to say a chaser energy, because when one person's in a chaser energy, it causes the other person to run. And maybe that's a little bit of confirmation for you as well. There's a difference between chasing and pursuing in a heart-centered way. And so you could be being asked to really kind of sit with that and allow yourself to get more into that conscious, heart-centered, pursuing energy when it comes to this person. And there could be a part of you that had this massive realization, and then you just want to like go for this person. And if that's what you're feeling, if you're feeling guided to do that, I'm feeling like that's a good thing to do right now. With that, be mindful of releasing some of these fear emotions around this connection. Um, Yeah, and nourish. So nourish just came out. So that goes right in with what I was saying. Make sure that you're nourishing yourself. Make sure you're doing self-care for yourself. Continue to do some of that self-growth, things of that nature. And when that intuitive hit comes to pursue this person, I feel like the message here is to follow it. What else can we help divine masculine with? Right, that one's gonna count. Okay. All right. So we've got lusting. So you definitely could be in a lustful energy for this person. Um, Maybe you have been intimate with this person, and there's a part of you that is reminiscing on that. And for some of you, you haven't been intimate with this person and you're just thinking about it heavily. Um, and I feel like that's just more confirmation than anything. And then we've got, hmm, okay, we do have a hopeless energy that is coming out. And I feel like that's just something to be mindful of. Be mindful not to stay in that hopeless energy. Um, and then we do have apology. So maybe there is an apology that needs to be made. There could be just a level of returning to this person and communicating your feelings. And also, do your best to allow yourself to step into a place of forgiveness for what happened in this connection. Okay, so what I'm picking up, the card shallow just came out and it's hollow, empty, and boredom is kind of the message of this card. And what I'm picking up is that if you've been in other relationships since this person, they could have felt very shallow. They could have been very surface level. And you are, especially if you're here watching this, you are more of an awakened, aware soul. And so, especially having already experienced some level of a soul connection with this person. Any connection after that, especially when they're karmic-y, are going to feel very surface level. They're going to feel very shallow. It's going to feel very, you're not going to be able to go deep with a karmic connection. Just because of the soul resonance. It's, karmic connections and relationships. Yeah, karmic connections and relationships allow us to learn a lot. They can feel very intense at first. For some of you, maybe you thought that this was a karmic connection at first in some way, and you didn't realize that it was an actual soul connection. And that could be this realization that is shocking your world right now. With that, intimacy came out, and so I do feel like there was a level of soul intimacy, which is interesting. I've never said that before, but a soul intimacy that happened with this person that you haven't been able to find with anybody else. And this happens in very high level soulmate connections and in twin flame connections. Take it how it resonates. I am picking up a twin flame energy. I'm also picking up high level soulmate energy. So just take it how it fits. Um, Okay, I'm being called to go into it just a little bit. So, a twin flame, according to the twin flame lore, so to speak, the ideology around twin flames, it's one soul that splits into two halves and um will incarnate separately, and then sometimes you will incarnate um at the same time and then come together to attempt a union. So that's where it's this energy of like there's only one twin flame. Soulmate connections, there's many soulmate connections. It's a soul resonance with the group of souls that have gone through lifetimes together, either in the physical form or just like helping as a spirit guide or something like that. But there's lots of soulmate connections, and then you've got high level soulmate connections, and what those are, that's oftentimes a person or a soul that you have been in partnership with in other lifetimes as well. So there's going to be just this level of ease and understanding and unconditional love that is just naturally present in that connection. Um in soulmate connections, that's going to be there too, but the high level soulmate connection when you've already been in union with that person in previous lifetimes. There's going to be things that aren't as difficult to move through in the relationship because your souls have already done it, if that makes sense. There's already a level of trust at the soul level established. Twin flames, there is that level of unconditional love. There is that level of trust. The difference between a twin flame connection and a high level soulmate connection is the fact that a twin flame connection will trigger the ever loving fuck out of you. It will be the most intense connection you've ever felt. It will be, it will literally be that one you cannot shake, and it will be the one that you will long for because it's a soul level recognition that just doesn't really exist with other souls. Um, and it's just it's like taking the level, it's like taking a karmic, that initial like exciting phase of a karmic connection where it's like really intoxicating and it can feel like I mean there's chemical reactions happening in the body too. So it's that really intense intoxicating feel of a karmic connection mixed with this underlying level of this high level soulmate connection all in one. And it's a lot. Um and it's this ability for each of you to see each other at the soul level just easily. And it's a soul level recognition. High level soulmates do have this soul recognition. It's just it oftentimes doesn't have that karmic flair to it. And then um a soulmate connection is going to be it's still going to have that soul resonance. It's still going to be very uplifting, very unconditionally loving. It's going to have all of that. It's just not going to have as much of the ease as like a high level soulmate connection. So hopefully that makes sense. I feel like maybe that's something that you're trying to discern and like figure out on, Is this my twin flame? Is this my soulmate? Is this my high level soulmate? Is this a karmic connection? And so hopefully that helped to clarify a little bit. Because it can be confusing with all the different labels, and just ultimately understand that this is a soul connection of some sort, and that's the main thing to focus on. Do your best not to get caught up into those labels, because then it pulls us into our mind and has us more like, is this, is it that? Well, it doesn't really fit what this person says, but it fits what that person says. And then it can pull you into that confusion energy, into that really head spinny energy that is pulling you out of your heart space. And the main thing to know is that this is a high level soulmate connection of some sort. I really am picking up, like, this is a person you've probably done life with a time or two. Um and there is still that potential there for this lifetime. Okay, and then we've got heart fog, which explains I just kind of felt the fog energy come in. And so this could be also if you feel like you messed up this connection, if you feel like you messed up the um yeah, just like if you were the one, if you are looking at this connection and you're looking at it in the lens of I really fucked up, that would explain this heart fog, because it's a hit for the ego to take when you're looking at a situation and going, I'm the reason why this happened. And so just allow yourself to come into if that is the part for you, allow yourself to come into that awareness and be easy on yourself, be kind to yourself, because you are operating from a level of awareness that you had then. Now you're operating from a different level of awareness. You're coming from a different level of awareness and clarity and understanding. And so now you're able to step up and show up in a different way. Um, and so really kind of focus on that. And through nourishing yourself, your body, your mind, your soul, that's going to really, really assist in this as well. Okay, okay, okay. Well, there we go. So we've got fantasy, which is like daydreaming, um, imagining and fantasizing. And so I was brought to the lusting card. So there could be a level of fantasizing that's going on right now. But I'm not picking up like just in an intimate way. I'm picking up that this is probably in a daydreaming type of way of like, what would it be like if we were in union? What would it be like if we would have stayed in union or came into union then, or, that kind of thing. I'm definitely picking up a daydreaming energy. With that, a little side note, you could be having dreams of this person, and that could be where it's confusing you. Um, Oftentimes when you're dreaming of a specific person, it's it's your soul's like trying to make contact, or you're being guided in your dreams. If you're dreaming about this person, you're being guided by those dreams, so pay attention to them. Pay attention how you feel around this person in your dreams. That's going to be very telling. Okay. Um, we've got obsession, so there could be a level of obsession going on um with this connection, which again, in this type of a situation, it's understandable to have these feelings. It's understandable to fantasize about them. Um and I do have to say, if you are in this energy where you're really, really thinking and focusing on this other person, and they are your, counterpart, basically, they are a divine feminine for you, they are picking up on this as well. And I just feel like, really clarifying that, because this can be one of the most, like, crazy making, frustrating type of situations when you're picking up on all of this energy, and then you're like, there's no communication or anything in the physical realm. And so you're sitting here like, am I blowing this up in my head? Am I focusing on something that's not there? Am I going crazy, basically? Like, is this completely ridiculous for me to be thinking about even attempting a situationship with this person again? Something of that nature, or moving towards this person. And I just want you to know that the divine feminine is picking up on this as well. The guidance for the divine feminine is different though most of the time. And so just know that the divine feminine, when you're at this level of awareness and soul evolution in the physical realm, what the divine feminine will be guided to do is to be patient and to wait and to pull into their receptive energy and magnetize you to them. And so the struggle's slightly different for the feminine in these types of connections because the feminine is being asked to focus on themselves and do what they need to do, self-care, all of those things, and wait and allow you the time, the space, and everything that you need to come to this awareness and then come, come back to them basically in this new level of awareness and understanding and go, okay, I understand it now. Where do we go from here? And so I just want to kind of clarify that because this is a really, really, mm, it's a dynamic that is actually becoming more and more prevalent on Earth realm right now because we're meant to be coming together in these high level connections. Because when we're in these high level connections, I mean, it, it allows us the ability to show up in our passion, in our purpose, in a whole healed way is what I heard, but healing's a journey. We're never done, all of that. But it's a way more healed state. And then having that connection where it's fulfilling, it's uplifting, it's balancing, it's pushing each other to be your greatest version on a regular basis, and having that feeling of being supported and truly unconditionally loved by another person, that type of a connection, it can help you quantum leap into these timelines where you are uplifting the collective in your own way and you're living your truth and all of that. And so there is a huge purpose for these connections. And it is difficult to be in it's an illusion of separation because in the 5D in the quantum realm we're not separated, but in the 3D we're in the earth realm, in the physical realm, we are experiencing it as separation. And so, from the human perspective, it hurts. It causes a longing. It causes all of the range of emotions. And then the goal is to shift through these emotions, do the soul growth separately for a while, and then to come back into union, and then to help each other grow and uplift each other even more. So okay, I just went on a whole tangent. So I feel like maybe some of you are asking for clarity on how these connections work and what it looks like from the divine feminine perspective as well. Because the masculine is more guided to step into that action-based energy and pursue the feminine in a heart-centered way. That's where the differences between the divine masculine and the divine feminine really, really lie in that energy of being in this type of a connection and then being awake and aware and all of that. So that's what's going on. So from the masculine's perspective, um it can look like the feminine that you are longing for is completely fine. They're completely okay. They're it's not bugging them at all. They're not in this energy at all. And the thing is a lot of the times the feminine has been in this energy. I don't wanna say they're in it now, and they could be, and it could just be low key, and then they're focusing on all of these other things because they know that that's all they can do with this connection right now. Because the thing is, if a feminine in this type of a high level soulmate type of connection, and especially we're getting into twin flame dynamics as well, if the feminine were to chase the masculine, it shifts the energy of the connection. And so just knowing and understanding that can help you to go, okay, I'm identifying with more of the divine masculine traits and energy. And so I'm going to step more into this masculine energy. I understand what that means. And I understand that the masculine energy is a very action oriented energy. It's a moving energy. It's a going towards the thing energy, to where the divine feminine energy is open, receptive, and allows and magnetizes and pulls in. So hopefully that helps give you some clarity on what can be going on. Yeah. So the other two cards, we're gonna pull back off that because I can go on rambles of that and the dynamics for some time. So I'm going to pull it back for a minute and we're going to look at these last few cards that came out. We've got family and peace. And so I feel like this is what ultimately you are fantasizing about, this connection bringing you, is family of some sort. This could literally be like you and this person having children together. This can be blending families, or this can just be, introducing each other to families and having this person there at family gatherings and things of that nature. And there is also a huge level of peace that this connection brings. And I do feel like at this point in life, this is something you're longing for above all else, is to just feel at peace in a union. And this is something that is very, very common to feel if you've been in a bunch of karmic connections, because karmic connections in a relationship dynamic, especially, do not bring peace. Um, there might be a little bit of peace here and there, but it's not going to be the dominant vibration of that connection. It's going to be very explosive, and maybe not like actually like exploding fights, but that can be definitely a sign. Um, but it can just be like this it's just a dissonance thing that's going on. It's the souls not fully resonating with each other, and you're meant to learn a lesson when you're in a karmic relationship. And so if you stay in something that you're supposed to be learning your lesson from and walking away from, you're just going to keep cycling through these lessons until you learn it and walk away from it. Okay, and then pain came out over here on the side. So what I feel like is, I feel like that goes into what I was just talking about with these karmic connections. I feel like you've associated pain in some way, and this could even be at a subconscious level, but I feel like you've associated pain with romance or romantic connections, intimate connections, because I just heard that's all they've ever brought. And so even with this connection, especially if you were in union with this person, even if it was a short-term thing, and then you separated, that caused pain. And then if you've been in multiple karmic type of relationships, or even just one, take it how it fits. But or maybe you've just avoided connections completely because there's this low key kind of expectation that it's just going to bring you pain. And so that could be part of where this is just so intense, so overwhelming, so I feel like the range of emotions around this connection, just all of the emotions all the time, all at once, and it's just all consuming. And the part that might be scaring you for moving through these emotions and going towards this person is because there's a subconscious limiting belief that romantic connections only bring pain. And I just want to let you know that there are soulmate connections out there, even if it's not this person per se. For a lot of you, I do feel like it is going to be with this person, but for some of you, it might not be. And the thing is by moving through the range of emotions, maybe reconnecting with this person, apologizing, whatever the case may be, opening yourself up. Maybe I feel like there's a mutual apology that's taking place for a lot of you. I feel like you might be bringing an apology towards this person, and then they're going to apologize for their part in it and own their part in it, because I feel like for a lot of you it was a twofold thing. It wasn't just you. I feel like it was you maybe pushed away or pulled away, and then there was something else that happened where this person kind of solidified the separation basically. And so I feel like for a lot of you there's going to be an apology, and it's going to be mutual, and it's going to bring you to a level of forgiveness and peace, just in doing that. And then what takes place from there is going to vary. For some of you, it is going to open you up for union with this person. For others of you, by going through this in reconciling with this person, it's going to cause a huge release for both of you. And it's going to allow you to come into union with a high level soulmate that isn't this person. For some of you, I just like heard basically that by you coming back into union with this person, you guys might still have a relationship, but it might not be romantic. And I know that's not really what you want to hear right now, but it is a thread that's out there that I want to follow for a minute because um it could be like maybe this becomes your best friend. Maybe because there's a really intense level of compatibility in this connection that I'm feeling. This is very much, even if you guys aren't in a romantic relationship, even if it's platonic, maybe it's a work relationship, maybe it's something like that, there's going to be a level of healing and a mutual growth that you both can help each other with because this is such an intense soul connection. So by you going through some of your own healing right now and then getting to a place to where you can reach out to this person and reconcile with them, it's going to bring this level of peace for you in some way. But it's going to be, I just heard a soul level peace. So it's going to be like that. Oh, like, oh, all right. Life might not get any easier, but I can handle it now. It's kind of that energy, which is really cool. Okay, well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. I feel like I rambled for quite some time. So if you're still here, thank you, thank you. I hope that this resonated. I hope this gives you some clarity. I hope that this helps to give you a little bit of perspective and understanding on the two different aspects of these types of unions. It is very confusing. It is very intense. It's overwhelming. It can be like just all consuming all the time. Um, and so I do give you compassion for going through this and give yourself compassion. You chose to have this type of a connection for a reason. You chose to experience this at the time you did for a reason. And so just know that you at a soul level called in to experience this connection for a reason. And so that will allow you to kind of get out of this like really hopeless, um, frustrated energy around it. So, okay. Well, with that, I am going to fully leave it here now. So, if you like this message, feel free to hit that like button. It does help out the channel. Thank you. You can let me know in the comments below if you're feeling guided to, if this is for you, if you want to, say anything about it, by all means. I'd love to hear about it. And if you would like to hear more messages from me, feel free to hit subscribe. It is free, and I will see you on the next message. Bye.